What's up, guys? It is Morphin time again. Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 20th Anniversary Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Blue Ranger. We got Billy on deck. He was the only blue Power Ranger, the blue Mighty Morphin Ranger that ever existed. I mean, everybody swapped roles. Well, everybody. Most of them swapped roles around, but he was there until Zeo, and then it got swapped out. The final episode he wasn't even in it anymore. They just edited clips of him into background, and it's just like, hey Rangers, I'm gone now. Anyhow, enough about that. We're talking about the figure, not the show. And I knocked off my camera, the box fell down, everybody died. First of all, let's have a look at the size. They are pretty much the same. 14.5 centimeters, just like the Black Ranger I recently had in here. 14.5 centimeters, a little over 5 inches. Well, no, 5.5 inches. Actually, more closer to 6 inches, I guess. But, you know, I don't have them detailed inches. Once again, same thing. You have the flat blue all throughout the body, which I really like. And you have the very shiny helmet. The funny thing about this one is, I feel like with the Black Ranger, well, he was a lot more shiny, especially when going back and watching the video. It's really reflecting off the body. With Billy over here, it's a different thing. You have the white line going down over here. It looks very nice and actually very clean. Don't even notice that from afar. You have the golden eyes, the mouth. Everything is nicely painted, and for the rest of the figure, there's not really much to speak of. It's fairly simple design, but that's the design of how it was. One more thing to add, there is molding going on here. You have the stripes over here that aren't just painted on, you can actually feel that. I can glide across it with my fingernail, and you even got some wrinkles going on. That's pretty cool. Nice attention to detail, because like I said, this would be cloth, or, well, spandex. So there you go, that's all the detail of this guy. Let's have a look at the articulation. Once again, it's pretty much the same like the Black Ranger, like I mentioned. I'm going to mention that a couple of times because it is the same mold. You just have a different helmet, and this guy doesn't have a golden shield. But once more, I'm gonna have, I almost forgot about that, you have the Triceratops in there. Very nice and detailed golden coin in the morpher. Now, articulation, the head has all the room in the world. You have this room down there, so it goes down nicely, goes back, and moves all the way around. Actually, let me do that without moving the neck, because the neck is just like, whee, goes back and forth a lot. You get most out of the neck, really, it's crazy. And goes to the side. Not that much. So with the shoulder, you have the hinge that's going into the arm and going into the body, so you can rotate that around, and you can move it back and forth. Of course, you have the floaty piece in there. You can also rotate it on there. But anyway, you have the floaty piece, which just goes kind of crazy sometimes. I gotta say I like it because it hides everything and stuff, but other times it's just annoying and gets in the way. Maybe they should have just put it on somewhere, and then I knock off his dagger. Well, let me just leave that off. Then we have the elbow. Goes all the way up. Doesn't look the greatest, but that's fine. It gets the job done. And you have this gap over here. You have the fist on the ball joint. Cut ball joint, rotates around, goes back and forth. Torso articulation is not the greatest. I mean, it rotates around. Goes back, forward, not so much. And that's really it. So down at the hips, we got some more rotation, we got some more samba, we got some more movement, we got some more dancing. Legs, you pull them out, you can do all the rotations, all the movement you want. Goes out to the side, also rotates down here at thigh. Knees, same old thing. They don't look really great if you really put them out all the way, but you get some good articulation out of it. The foot rotates side to side, has an ankle rocker, goes back, goes forward, and has a toe hinge. So as far as accessories go, I already had this piece in here, which is so tightly in this holster. It's just, really. Not exaggerating, that is in there very tightly, and it's pushed in very tightly, but it's very nicely painted. Look at all the detail going on, and this is very, very tiny, but they didn't miss anything with that. Let me stick it back in there, never to be seen again. You get this slingshot gun version, just like with the Armored Black Ranger. I don't like it. I don't see the point of it. Why don't I have a regular gun instead of with this add-on that Was never used in the show. Well, once, maybe twice used in the show. Then you go, of course, you got his blue weapon. What was it called again? Dagger? No, it's not the dagger. It's a lance. I think it's a lance. Power lance? I don't know. So these are the two single pieces, nicely painted with the gold in the middle. Nice and metallic with the clean and a more flat but still shiny blue. And the black lines going down over here. And then of course you have the complete version. I call it the complete version. That's the DLC. That's the complete version. And something funny, they had the you get the bow of the Pink Ranger, but this has all the kinks in there, so you can get the ultimate weapon. And you have the matching power daggers for that with the peg over here, so you can build your ultimate weapon. And I don't really remember. I have to check that back. Who had what? Because like, why does Billy have the bow and the daggers? I don't know. I guess they decided halfway through, like, hey, how about we do that? As far as the hands go, it's just, I mean, the hands are pretty disappointing, and I'm not really that much into all these hands, all these posing hands, but still, you only have 2 fist hands, and I put them on the daggers so I don't have my fat fingers in the way. But yeah, 2 fist hands, and those are like the more open fist hands, because you get the more closed fist hands, which when I have on a figure, I'll show that again later. But there's the one, and then there's another holding hand, because you need to have holding hands, apparently, a lot. And the final 2, I'm just going to show you like that, because there's just some more holding hands. Always shaped rectangular, I guess, to hold the gun. And, I mean, you don't need it for the lance, because that's rounded. And yeah, there's the 2 last hands I have on the Blue Ranger, whee, which doesn't focus right now. The 1 fist hand and another open hand. Whee! Alright, and that's gonna bring me to the final thoughts. What do I think about good old Billy over here? Executed very well. Looks pretty damn accurate if you ask me. I mean, you could... There's always like the one thing I always wonder, like, they just look so perfectly proportioned when they didn't in the show. And it's a figure, of course you wanna do that and have a better look instead of having 1,000 wrinkles going all over the body with the suit, because that's not always fitting very well. But that's nitpicking. It's a good figure. It's actually a great figure if you're into Power Rangers. There's not really anything bad about it. Like, just a little bit of a lack of hands, other than holding hands. There's not really much posing hands. I could use a single morpher, maybe he holds in his hands. Then again, he already is morphed, so why would he hold a morpher? There you go. So yeah, I recommend this one. It's a good figure. If you can still track it down, go for it. And yeah, that's gonna do it. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like. And maybe subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever the Blue Ranger wants. Triceratops!